Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Safe Money. I'm your host, Paul 𝗹𝗃𝗺, and our special guest today, Mr. Len Strickler of LS Financial. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah,
Len.
good to see you again, Paul.
Man, it's always good to see you, my brother. Listen, I'm kind of thrilled today because, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the world, right? And specifically in our country, folks are really kind of facing challenges in retirement.
Absolutely.
You know, and today, you know, our topic's going to be breaking through retirement barriers, right?
Right.
So when we talk about that, Len, what do we mean, and what are some things folks can do to do that?
You know, before we do that, Paul, I'm going to just take just a second here.
Yeah.
And with the global things that are happening, you talked about that a minute ago, I'd just like to say, I'd like to have our prayers and thoughts go out to some of these folks,
Amen.
You know, that have it a lot tougher than we do right now.
Absolutely.
Okay? We're so fortunate. You know, I'm an airborne ranger. I fought for our country.
Yeah, you did.
And we have freedom, okay? And so I just want, my thoughts and prayers go out to these folks. It really does.
Amen to that, brother.
So I just wanted to say that.
No, that's good stuff.
Now, what question did you ask me?
No, that was good, man. Hey, look, I know you for who you are, and that's fantastic. And you're absolutely right. You know, there are people going through a lot more than we're going through.
Yeah.
And we definitely got to keep them in our thoughts and prayers.
But you're right. Financially, you're saying what's going on and what's happening out here today.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, things are really heating up here, folks. I mean, look, we're looking at I think, a tidal wave coming. All right. I mean, today they just announced that the GDP is down negative 1.4%. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And before the pandemic, we were up plus 6%.
Right.
So what's happening here?
Yeah.
We've got inflation that's out of control, 8.5%,
oh my
right?
gosh, everywhere you
really,
look.
really higher than that, to be honest with you. And then you've got inflation, you've got gas, food prices that are just, I mean, trying to buy a steak lately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually going to have an impact on the average family of $5,200 a year.
Really?
They're going to spend $5,200 more. And a lot of families, you know, my son's got 3 kids. You know, I mean, that's tough on families.
Yeah, it is.
To take that impact.
Yeah.
So, and retirees, we really have to talk about them as well, because it's a major impact.
Right.
Because now you're on a fixed income, right? And now all of a sudden we've got this inflation we've got to take into account. The biggest concern for most retirees is what? Longevity. Will my money go the distance with me?
Will it last?
Will
exactly.
it last?
Right.
So these are factors that we've got to certainly talk about and plan for.
Yeah. So when we talk about that, what are some of the things? I mean, some simple barriers, some things that folks need to be aware of that they can, and some ideas that they can use to get through.
Right.
These
Well, the first thing, you know what I'm about and what I preach, Paul, is folks, get out of the Wall Street casino, okay?
Right.
And get some of your money safe.
Yeah.
You can't afford to lose in retirement. So one of the first things is market risk.
Yes.
All right. Market risk and longevity. We got to make sure we take those two things in account for them, okay?
Yeah.
Right now, the stock market it's on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I have people calling me up, Paul. I mean, this last week, Len, I just lost 30,000, or I'm down 50. I mean, and again, they're in retirement now.
Right.
And it hurts. You know, and they're not putting money in anymore. They're taking money out, and there's still. So that 50,000 is even worse.
Yeah. So what's happening, Len? Why are people getting stuck in that situation in the market? Is it because they're stuck in the accumulation phase and they haven't made adjustments?
Yeah. You know, I talk about, you know, climbing Mount Everest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were going to go climb Mount Everest, right, what would be the goal?
Yeah. Well, I would hope to get back down safely.
Well, yeah. But most people say to me when I'm doing my workshops and seminars, they say, well, to get to the top.
Right.
Well, that's true. You want to get to the top. That's called the accumulation phase, okay? But now when you're retired, everything changes. All bets are off, folks. You now are in the distribution phase. A whole different set of rules coming down that mountain.
Right.
So that's what we've got to talk about. How do we handle that distribution phase? Going up the mountain, you're actually looking for return on your money. So most financial advisors, that's where they're at, okay? And they want to keep you there, and because that's their rice bowl.
Yeah,
They keep you in the market. They continue to get paid, even if you lose money, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
But at any rate, now you're accumulating, and that's fine when you're young. But now when you're coming down the mountain, you want a return of your money.
Absolutely right.
Right? So big difference. So we've got to talk about some of those things coming down the mountain.
Yeah.
Right?
And what are some of those things? What can we do? What are some solutions?
Well, one of the things that we do, and again, folks, what we have to do is, obviously look at the whole plan. We've got to be able to, it's kind of like a doctor.
Yeah.
We've got to do a diagnosis before we can do a prognosis. I mean, you imagine going into the doctor's office and he goes, "Oh my God, Paul, get out of here. Go to the hospital now."
Right.
You know, what are you talking about?
That's a little scary.
You didn't take my temperature. You didn't ask me anything about what I feel. I mean, it'd be crazy.
I just got here. Why am I leaving?
Right.
Right. No.
So, I mean, we got to get some data from you, right? But there's a couple different vehicles that we can use. All right. One of them, and I'm going to use the A word.
What?
Okay.
What is it? What's the A word?
The annuity.
Yeah.
Right? And the annuities have got a bad rap.
Why is that?
Annuities aren't bad, but there are some bad annuities. Okay?
Okay.
If you're in a variable annuity, and that's what a lot of folks, where they get the bad rap,
Sure.
You're now back in the market. Okay, you literally are, in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and the fees inside some of those things. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And those fees will eat you. They'll knock 10 years off you, right? So what we do is fixed index annuities. We do not do variable annuities. My partner Art and I we don't want to see people lose money.
Yeah.
So when you invest with me, folks, you're not going to lose your money. Okay, you'll never look at Len and say, "You lost my money." Not going to happen, because what we do is we put it in this fixed index annuity. You're not even in the index. You're credited by the insurance company. Okay, they're crediting you based on an index. Now, the only way you can go with a fixed index annuity is up or sideways. Up or sideways.
Yeah.
And you never give back your gains. All right? That's what I preach. To get some of that money in a fixed index annuity, a good design, right? Make sure you have the right design, and you're going to be safe. You're not going to lose money. And some of these today, Paul, you're looking at anywhere from 7 to 11% returns.
Wow,
on these
really?
things. Yeah,
that much?
Absolutely. The annuities today, fixed index annuities, are not like they were, 4 or 5 years ago. Right? They're totally different.
All right.
You got 10,000 baby boomers retiring every day. So these marketing, they're smart companies.
Yeah.
And they're now putting long-term care right into some of these fixed index annuities, death enhancements if you really want to leave a legacy. So you've got to get the right design, right? We do what's called a scorecard, a safe money scorecard, right? And so what we'll do is we'll take the top 4 annuities, okay? And my partner Art, he's great at this stuff, okay?
Yes.
I call him the master chef, and I'm the sous chef. I just, cut vegetables and I get out of the kitchen, right? I do this, okay?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. I cut up with Art all the time. He's a great guy. But, I'll go, "Look, folks, I do this right here," and Art is behind the computer, and I really love people, man. Art, not so much. And I go, I'm kidding. He's a great guy. He's a peach of a guy. But he does what he does. He's been doing it 32 years.
Yeah.
But he does all the analysis,
Yes.
okay? And I love doing what I do. So we make a great team,
Yes.
So, but anyway, the fixed index annuity, you want to make sure 3 things Art looks for. Do you have a good, strong company? All right? So we only go with A-rated companies. Number 2, is it a good index? Right? Because there are a lot of indexes.
Yes.
And that's his job to go find them. And number 3, what are they paying you on that index? What's the participation rate?
Right.
So the fixed index annuities, if we design them right, and I can show you that scorecard, folks, it's a beautiful thing as part of your portfolio. Not all of your money, but some of your money we got to get safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Safe money. Because I think, one of the things folks really want to know is how do I make sure I'm going to have that lifetime income you're talking about? So to put you on the spot here, Len, can they actually guarantee a lifetime income? Even when the principal and everything is spent?
One of the designs is a guaranteed lifetime income. Okay.
Yeah.
And there you're not worried about the index or anything really. What the insurance company's saying is, we're going to pay you a certain amount of money. You give them X dollars, they're going to pay you yearly, annually, or monthly, and you're going to get that paycheck. You're going to get it every month, just like Social Security.
Wow. If
you live to 120. You're going to get that check.
It keeps coming.
Keeps coming.
Wow, that's incredible.
A lot of people like that, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing now, in that design, your money's probably going to run out, right, in about 10 or 12 years, okay? So you don't have any money, but they're going to still pay you that check.
Yeah.
So now you got to, if you want to leave something for your kids or leave a legacy, that may not be the right design. I had a guy the other day say, "Len, I don't care."
Yeah.
He said, "I'm not married." Boom. I don't have kids.
Yeah. So let's say the good folks of South Florida, you got them interested in that financial scorecard you're talking
absolutely.
about. What do they need to do, Len? What do they need to do?
Folks, just give me a call, all right? I'd be more than happy to run that scorecard for you. What we do is we send out my new book, 5 Steps to a Safe, Successful Retirement. We'll also put in there for you in the packet the scorecard, so you're going to see the top 4 annuities. And you've got to give me some information so I get the right design. But just give me a call, folks. I answer all my calls, okay? I take the calls personally. Give me a call at 844-299-0355. That's 844-299-0355.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Len. Who's your partner? Who's your financial partner in retirement? Are you confident you're in a good place? If not, pick up the phone. Give Len and his team a call. 844-299-0355. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these short messages.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk Safe Money. Again, I'm your host, Paul 𝗃𝗃𝗃, and it's been an honor to have you with us here today, and a special honor to our good friend,
Thank you.
Mr. Len Strickler, Velos Financial. Len, I mean, what an incredible segment of talking about breaking through common barriers. And one of the biggest things, like you said, on people's mind is making sure they have a guaranteed lifetime income.
Right.
And it's nice to know that there are solutions.
Absolutely.
But people got to take action, right?
Yep,
Change
absolutely.
don't happen without taking action.
That's right.
I wanted to ask you, I know there's a very personal story to you in your life, specifically on a topic that's important to folks out there, and that's their long-term care.
Right.
You know, one of the things they're very concerned about, right, retirees, is having a major medical issue happening and how that's going to impact their nest egg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you share your story with everybody?
Sure, I'd be glad to. You know, this is a little hard for me.
Sure.
It's still, you know, a little raw. But my high school sweetheart, okay, of 45 years. I mean, 45 years is a lifetime, man.
Oh, yes.
And we were really, really close. But a great marriage, and raised 2 great boys. But she came down with frontal temporal dementia at age 55, and it's part of the frontal lobes, right?
Yeah.
And the language goes, but the disease, it's kind of under the umbrella of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, et cetera. It was all mixed in there with this disease. And but anyway, she was gone at 62. It progressed fast. And, you know, I share that story, folks, with you, not to say, whoa, Len, because, look, we just talked about it earlier. There's a lot of folks that don't even have a home now, okay, in places in the world. But I share it with you because of the financial impact. I mean, one place I had her, Paul, was $9,600 a month.
$9,600 a month.
Now, you think about that, and she lived almost 7 years, okay? You do the math, folks. It's pretty easy. And then another 1,000 for drugs and then care. It was brutal, okay?
Wow.
So we have to, you know, they did a study, and they found out that when you hit 65, okay, 78% of 65-year-olds are going to need some type of long-term care. So we got to take that off the table. We have to address it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a big part of your plan. So that's what I want to help you do, folks. I want to help you address that. And there are ways to address it, okay, without going and getting long-term care insurance, because it is expensive.
Outrageously expensive. Right?
And they raise the rates. But we do have some solutions that we can share.
Fantastic. But that solution's customizable to the individual, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's interesting. You talked about this, and we're currently going through a little bit of this ourselves with my wife's parents.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can definitely,
Yeah.
my heart goes out to you.
It's tough, Paul, the care that I tried to caregive. I did.
Yeah.
I tried to do it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was,
Difficult.
I got stories that
It's difficult.
I really should write a book,
Yeah.
right, to help others and understand what's coming, because
Yeah.
you don't know.
You don't know.
It's crazy, but
Well, and
anyway,
I
God
think
love
the
her
big
and bless
thing
her.
too, Len, is folks have to put their lives on hold.
Oh, absolutely.
If the family has to step in and help,
Absolutely, yeah.
their
Yeah.
ailing loved ones, right? I mean, it's
and
a very difficult
do you
thing.
really want to do that? I mean, look, your family loves you, okay? And my family, my boys tried to help me. They did.
Yeah.
But look, they have their own families, right, and their own issues. I mean, it was tough. So I didn't want to be a burden, like that. So we got to take care of this long-term care thing.
Good. Okay, so let me ask you this. So long-term care in relations to longevity.
Right.
Because we know they kind of go hand in hand, right, Len? And we're living longer, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, we might end up, some folks, you may have some in your family, right? My past wife, Marcia, her grandmother lived to 102. Wow. My new wife, by the way, I got married, didn't
Yes,
you? Huh?
yes.
So,
Congratulations,
folks,
brother.
The good thing is, God gave me another chance, right? I got it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
By our age, I'm in love, right?
That's good.
And she's a great lady. She's my Spanish queen, I call her. She's
what's her name?
From Colombia, Carolina.
Carolina, hello, Carolina. Hope you're watching the show. I'm sure she is.
Yeah, she probably is. But anyway, so I've been fortunate that way, But this long-term care thing, right? I mean, we've got to address it. And her mother right now is 98.
Wow.
So we're living longer, medical advances, right?
Yes.
So we do have to figure out what to do with this plan. When we do a plan for you, we got to take that into account, right?
Yeah.
The longevity thing too is, will my money go the distance?
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And one of the things we do, by the way, is we do an income analyzer,
Okay.
right? That helps folks out. Two things. We talked about the Safe Money Scorecard.
Yes.
And in that, we will show you a long-term care component. Okay. Because that's important. And then there's the income analyzer, where we take what you got coming in, Social Security, pensions, whatever, what your goal is. If your goal is, say, Len, I want 75, 100,000, whatever, a year in retirement, right? What we have to do then is factor in inflation.
Yes.
And now look at it, we got to factor that in, and taxes. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we have to factor those in. All right, so the master chef Art, he does his magic, and we do what's called an income analyzer for you, and we'll show you, will your money go the distance? Are there any gaps here? If there are gaps, we got to be able to fill those gaps.
Right.
Maybe it's redirecting some resources over here that you have, on 401k, or maybe a pension you got. Whatever. We kind of redirect some things.
Right.
To make sure that we cover those gaps. So it's a beautiful thing, and you really do want to know, folks. Is it going to go the distance?
Right. Will it be there when you need it?
Right.
Absolutely right. Because you can't start over at that
That's
point.
right.
It's almost
You get one
impossible.
shot at this.
Exactly right. One time in retirement. So let's say folks out there are curious, right? And they want to know more about this income analyzer and how it can work for them.
Yeah.
What would they need to do, Len, to get that?
Folks, just give me a call. All you do is pick up the phone, 844-299-0355, 844-299-0355. I take all the calls personally. And what we'll do is I do what's called a kind of a packet I'll send out to you, all right? You'll have in there my Safe Money Scorecard that we talked about. If you want an income analyzer, I get some information. I'll have that there for you. All this is complimentary, by the way. And we'll also send you out my new book, 5 Steps to a Safe and Successful Retirement. Just give me a call. Be glad to talk with you and have a chat with you, answer any questions. 844-299-0355.
To get your copy of Len's new book, again, just reach out and give him a call. 844-299-0355. It matters. Your today, your tomorrow. How confident are you that you're where you need to be? That you'll get to your goals? Change happens when we take action. Pick up the phone and give them a call. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these short messages.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk Safe Money. Again, I'm your host, Paul 𝗵𝗂. Thank you so much for being with us today. And a special thank you to Mr. Len Strickler of LS Financial. Len, some incredible information you're sharing with folks. I just love your passion to help people in your community.
Yeah.
I know it means a lot, especially in this day and age where there's a lot of doom and gloom out there. But what I think is so important about you is the hope.
Absolutely.
The bottom line is there are solutions.
There are
right?
solutions. Yeah.
There is hope.
Right.
But we got to take action, right?
That's right.
I wanted to ask you a question about, because there's a lot of information out there, specifically online, about order or sequence of returns. Will you explain that to our viewers out there and why they need to be really aware of this?
That's one of the things coming down the mountain, right? That's different, folks. And most folks don't even know what this is. They don't even think about this, okay? And we're going to talk about a couple things they probably don't even really realize, okay? But this sequence of returns is really important. We have a chart that we'll do at our workshops, right? And we got over here Tom and Sue, and over here we got Bob and Jane. But they put in A and B. Yeah. So they put in $500,000, right, into a fixed index annuity. Yeah. And they're going to take out $25,000. Okay, it's a 6% return, so everything's the same. Right. Right. But what happens on this side with the A group couple, they end up getting negative returns within the beginning years. See, when you're going into retirement, the most important years are the first 5. We call it the red zone. The first 5 years before. Yeah. 5 years in and 5 years on the other side.
I completely agree with that.
If you get negative returns, right? In other words, that market drops down like it did in 08. Boom, 30% of your money, right?
Yes.
Their money on couple A only lasted 8 years. Okay, it was gone. Yeah. Right now, this couple over here, they had nice returns, right? But they didn't get negatives till way down here, and their money lasted till they were 92. They took out $25,000 every year, right? Yeah. So I don't know the exact number without the graph, but it's a lot of money. Right. And they still had their $500,000 left.
Still had it.
Still had it.
Wow, so that just sounds unbelievable.
It's a beautiful thing, and that's what a fixed index annuity designed properly will do for you. Wow. So that's what we call sequence of returns. Yeah. So
you had mentioned in an earlier segment we're going to get to taxes a little bit. Can we get to some tax questions and stuff? Yeah. Let me ask you. Basically everybody wants to know, hey, have that crystal ball. What's going to happen with taxes? What are we going to see, and what can they do about it?
Well, let me ask you this, folks. I do this in my seminars, and I say, how many of you think that the taxes are going to go down? Not many hands. Right. I mean, look, folks, we're $30 trillion in debt. Well, we just added another, I don't know, 3 or 5 trillion to it. I mean, basically, the country is really bankrupt, quite frankly. Social Security, for example, one of the things we really need to maximize in the plan that we do for you, but Social Security is out of money in 2034. Really? Out of money. Oh. So we got to think about these things, folks, because this is now on your shoulders, right? Yeah. You're going to have to think of some other paychecks. Yeah. So, but anyway, taxes. We have on board with us one of our co-founders, Carrie Rebello, is a CPA and a CFP. Beautiful thing about that is you kind of got one-stop shop, right? When we do the planning, Art and her work closely together, and we take into account taxes. Now, our goal is to get you off the IRS radar screen. Now, how many of you would like that? Yeah. All the hands do go up. Absolutely right. Mine included. We do have technique strategies that we can help you get to zero or mitigate taxes in retirement. Wow. Okay? So, we don't have time maybe here, but my partner Art, he also co-authored a book called the No Compromise Retirement Plan. One of the things in there that we do, and we do actually do an analysis for you with this as well, is we do what's called Roth conversions. So if you've got money here, you got 3 buckets. Your taxable bucket, where you get the 1099 low note from the Uncle Sam,
Yeah.
and your stocks, bonds, banks.
Yeah.
Then you got your tax deferred, where you're deferring 401ks, this bucket. And over here is a tax-free bucket, right? The only thing that goes in that tax-free bucket is a Roth, anything Roth, and life insurance.
Really?
Is designed differently.
Wait,
okay?
wait. So we were always told life insurance, specifically whole life insurance, isn't a good thing.
Right.
You're telling me differently?
Well, and a lot of my retirees go, Len, what do I need life insurance? My kids are gone. I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
No. We don't design this way, okay? 85% of the Fortune 500 CEOs use this strategy.
Really?
Congressmen and senators use it, okay? We turn it upside down. We put the least amount of death benefit that the IRS will allow us to do to make it still tax-free when we pull it out.
Right.
And what we do is we build kind of like a fixed index. It's an index inside there to have this thing grow, okay?
Wow.
So a big portion of that premium that's going in is going into a growth. So it's a beautiful thing.
Really?
Now, the nice thing about that is when you take it out, it's tax-free.
Tax-free.
It's tax-free.
When you withdraw the money out of that.
That's right.
You're kidding.
So, and also with a Roth, anything Roth, it's tax-free. With a Roth, guess what?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay your RMDs. No RMDs.
Really?
And it goes to your heirs tax-free.
Wow.
This bucket over here is where you want to be.
Yeah.
Now, the key is you got to pay taxes when we move it. So we move it over a 5 or 6 year period. But here's the thing, folks. Taxes are on sale. In the last 80 years, we're the lowest tax rate we've ever had.
Yeah. I was reading that the other day.
We had a president who was an actor.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He only made 2 movies a year because he hit 200. He got 100,000 each movie. 2 movies, $200,000. That was where it was when you hit 200,000.
Yeah.
The tax rate then was 94%.
Wow.
94%
That's
in our
crazy.
country. Yeah. So he said, "Heck with that! I'm going to the farm. I'm not
Yeah.
making another movie."
Well, listen, buddy, believe it or not, we're coming down to the end of another show here.
Oh, my
And the
goodness.
phones
I'm
are
having
going
too
nuts.
much fun.
I know, and people are calling in with all kinds of questions. But do me a favor, remind the good folks of South Florida what you're offering today when they call in. Would you like?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, folks, just give me a call. You know, we talked about the Safe Money Scorecard, where we're going to actually show you 4 different annuities designed. You know, when you give me data, I'm going to design it the way it fits you. It's got to fit you. We also can do for you the income analyzer to make sure your money's going to go the distance. All right, and I'll send that to you. Also, my new book that I've got out called 5 Steps to a Safe and Successful Retirement. Okay, I'll get all that to you in your hands. Just give me a call at 844-299-0355. That's 844-299-0355.
Thank you so much, Len. And thank you for being with us. But most importantly, what's your tomorrow look like? Find out today. Make the change right now. 844-299-0355. We want to thank you for being with us. Be well and enjoy your retirement.